pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is January 12th, 2021. Roll call, please.
Yeah, the agenda from last year.
Yeah. We're still in last year.
Rigo.
Here.
Trustee Erk. Here. Trustee Strauss.
Here.
Trustee Millet.
Here.
Mayor Jarvis.
Here. We'll go straight into public concerns. Hopefully somebody can tell us if we're broadcasting. We're on. Okay. Good. So Molly, you got public concern CDBG.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, got one. Okay.
one.
Nope.
Call back.
Go back. Go back, please.
We'll give it a minute.
Buffalo.
Okay.
Think oh.
They're there.
Village meeting.
Hello,
Hello.
is this supposed to work?
Yes, it is.
Hey, I'd like to speak.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for taking my call.
Russell.
And, I'd also like to thank, Chris Strauss for, running for office, having the courage to do that at such a young age. I think it's great. Thank you, Chris. I just want to give you guys, I know some of you know about it, and maybe some of you don't. I'd just like to give a brief overview of the drainage situation here on Margaret Avenue and the drainage situation overall as a whole. I'd just like to make you aware of the fact that first of all, that the DPW came and cleaned out the plugged up sluiceway here at Margaret Avenue that drains the entire Margaret Avenue, some at Catherine Cornwall, some at Church Street, and some of Crosman and heavy rains. You have rains that are coming across the golf course, and now don't have as much area to be held in those ponds behind the fire department, and they have to leave the system just as soon as the rainwater comes in and exits the system. The golf course and the village offices, the fire department, Thompson overflow parking, the school has built soccer fields, baseball fields, football fields. All this water from the golf course in those areas go into a 4-foot pipe that's underground. It starts right around between the soccer fields and the baseball fields. Somewhere in that area is where the intake is. That runs alongside the school over to Bolton Avenue, crosses underneath Bolton, and crosses along the skating rink, and then it goes over towards the Greenhouse Road, and along the Greenhouse Road it opens up into an open ditch, and then it goes underneath Walton Street. Just to give you a overview of that. The Margaret Avenue drainage goes into the open ditch area. I guess what I'm getting at is as soon as when we had the heavy rains, I don't know, it was Christmas Eve or Christmas, I went over there to look, in that open pipe, I have pictures of it, and I showed Steve it, where the pipe opens on Greenhouse and releases its water into the open ditch and then runs underneath Walton Street. That pipe was full to the top. And now, one of my concerns is there's 2 pipes from Margaret Avenue drainage that goes into that. One goes into the open ditch, and one actually goes into the 4-foot drainage pipe. And what happens is when that 4-foot pipe fills up to the top, it actually backflows into the Margaret drainage and fills it up. That didn't happen this time because those pipes that drain Margaret out were actually plugged. Well, now they're opened up, which is a good thing. But it could be a bad thing too in the long run because heavy rains, it backs up. Years ago, and I know you guys seen it, some of you guys have, Dick Garlock used to go up to the golf course and would actually take plywood and put over those sluice pipes that would drain across Walton Street and take the runoff behind the fire department. Well, everybody thought he was crazy when he did that. Well, Dick's not a stupid guy. Dick plugged those up because he was trying to stop more water entering the system and backing up onto Margaret Avenue. It might be a little hard for some people to understand. I just wanted to give you a little bit of history about what was going on. Part of the reason I give you this little overview is I've been told, and I'm all for development. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about development. I have been told that there could be a possible helicopter landing pad placed in that area. I've been told that Hearts for Youth is going to build behind the library in that area. And the reason I'm calling you tonight is when they do that, it's just going to put that much more stress on that system for lack of natural retention pond. And somewhere down the road, I know it's not going to happen overnight and whatever, the village has to plan on doing something about this drainage definitely a problem there. And sooner or later, something's gonna have to be done.
Yes. Maybe, I think way back, Russell, when I was on the board, back when I was on the board, I think, didn't we have some construction done down in that area? We put new pipes in or something? Am I right, Russell, on that or something?
What's that, Bubba?
About, didn't we have didn't we go in there and, put some pipes in there to, take care of that problem way
Well,
back it was, but,
I don't particularly remember that, Bubba. I could be mistaken. Maybe they came in and they put drainage. I don't know if you were on the board then. They came in and drained I call it Lake Henry. They drained Lake Henry and basically all the water that comes down Margaret Avenue drains in behind Dick Garlock's old garage.
Right.
Okay, it all goes there, everything. And when that doesn't drain down, it creates a problem up here. And when there's that high volume of water going down through that 4-foot pipe, it will not drain until that water drains down, if you can understand it.
Yeah, maybe, didn't we do a project on Walton Street with across the street from the, Walton Street Market? Didn't we put a new pipe
We
through
did.
there or something?
Years ago, Bobby, you're correct in saying we did do work over there, and
And then,
ultimately,
cause I thought we had this problem
we
way
did,
back
but
then.
what it was doing is it was doing the
I
same.
mean, no, well, I'm just trying to get it to, we need to fix it, Russell. But I know we had a problem way back when I was on the board, 15 years ago.
Well, right, and you're right, Bubba. It's nobody's fault. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. But what I'm getting at is this has been a continual problem, and I have to monitor it. And luckily, I do monitor it, and I noticed that behind Dick's and all that was not draining down, and I found it unusual. Well, come to find out, those sluice pipes were all plugged up. And the village, thankfully, the village came and unplugged them. However, all back through that open section is all full of downed trees and leaves and limbs and everything. It needs to be brought in, and I talked to Jared about it. The Treco needs to come in there, the one they got, and it needs to be cleaned out. But I don't know if that's a long-term solution. It's a short-term solution, as long as I keep an eye on it and all that.
I think the big thing is that area needs to be cleaned out.
I'm sorry?
It does need to be cleaned out with all the down trees and debris that's back there, and keep an eye on the pipes that were clogged. That should be an annual maintenance or concern, and we'll talk about it and see what we can get and get back to you in the next month with a plan, or even sooner, Russell.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Would that work for you, Russ?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll get with Jared. Let me take this project.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I'll let you guys go. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, I'll look into it, Russell, and I'll get with Jared, and we'll come up with a plan here.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay.
You already went in, you used the sewer machine, you cleaned out the plug.
Yeah.
It was right full. That one end is kind of crushed in, that needs to be stoned so that it'll allow the water instead of the garbage to plug it up again, right?
Yeah, right now it's so wet in there that
You couldn't get a
it's
machine
just,
in there right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we did, and the water drained down below that pipe. So Bubba, to get back with you, we had put a 4-foot pipe coming off of the 4-foot pipe to take that. And what had happened is the same thing that the 12-inch or the 2-foot pipe is doing, is when not enough water to come all the way out through and leave, it was literally coming out that 4-foot pipe we had put in and pushing it back up all the way up towards Dick's.
Okay.
So what we did was we made the situation worse. So we cut that pipe back off, recapped it to stop that water from actually coming back up in there, is what we did.
And I thought we had
We
a
did.
project
We
there,
did.
because this isn't the first time this has been
No.
brought up.
No, you're right.
That all started way over on Walton, over here on Walton Street.
And what happens is the bottlenecks. So you come in behind Sandy Caputo's
Yeah.
and behind Judy Fulmer's, but that ditch will bottleneck down to a matter of maybe only 2 foot wide, and it's rock ledge on both sides, right on that curve behind her buildings.
Uh-huh.
And so if you can't get the water to come back down through that culvert and let it release it, it's gonna push out, like Russell said, it's gonna push out any other place that's open, you know? So, and I told Russell, we're gonna go down through, we're gonna clean out in behind Sandy Caputo's, get that opening up, so if we can release more water there, it won't push back up them other pipes that are supposed to be draining that property. So, we'll get together.
Yeah, all right.
We'll get
Yeah,
together.
that's fine.
Any other public concerns? I'm gonna jump ahead to zoning officer report so that Mr. Schimmel can get to his next meeting.
I have, got all the 2020 zoning records and stuff filed in a box, and Molly and I are gonna try to, rearrange some of our file cabinets in this back room to, see if we can make a little bit more order and stuff with that, with it. Over on 24 Rock, the ZBA is gonna have 2 variances. One of them is not enough road frontage, the other one is not substandard sized lot. And the other one in there, they're gonna do a subdivision. Once we do the variances, we're gonna go ahead with a subdivision. I talked to the owner last Wednesday, and wanted to schedule it here right off, and he's in Florida and won't be back till February, so he says it's not a big time issue for him. Part of that parcel's business and part of it's neighborhood residential, I think, over in there, but he got it surveyed out and stuff. He lacks like 6 foot of frontage, and I think square footage wise, he lacks like maybe 2,200 square feet with that. Back in October, the ZBA granted a variance for a fence over on Rock, and part of the stipulation was they would come up with an agreement between the 2 parties that they could live with. Well, they're still working on it, and I told them I was a Philadelphia lawyer, and I threw out the suggestion of a third party draft up this letter between the 2, and with that, and they're both agreeable with it, and they would share in the cost of the third party to get it accomplished. FEMA, back in 2008, I believe, they were doing some preliminary mapping work, and now they're gonna be in the county, in the village here, so they can get their new floodplain maps up to speed. It's gonna be a 12-month project, so, people should be aware they're gonna try to avoid, bothering anybody as much as possible, but people will be around on your properties, doing their data collection for these maps. That's all that I have, unless there's any questions.
I got one question and one thing. I need a copy of all your permits.
All my permits?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I can start going out and assessing them. And, did you hear anything on the docks?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that too.
Jim Burrows he sent me a copy that letters had gone out to the 2 parties involved. I don't know the return receipt, if they came back to the village, we would have known about it, or at Jim Burrows' office. That part I can't answer.
Well, if we,
It's been long enough, it takes, sometimes with the post office and certified mails, it could take up to 5 to 6 weeks because of the number of attempts they have to do and stuff, but we're past that, phase of it.
Well, I think that we, in this case, this has dragged on for quite a while. I think it's time that if they don't sign for these letters, maybe we ought to cite them somehow and make them come into your board at the very beginning and have them place the permits to you, because this has went on for 5 months now. It's been going on. I know you guys just sent the letters out in the last 30 days, but, we're gonna be in the spring, and we're gonna be right in the same boat, and then we're gonna have a situation that's not gonna get remedied next summer. We're all getting pegged on this.
Yeah, we need
And I
to do
think,
something about it.
I think that really comes under planning board anyway, because they would have had, well, maybe even zoning board, because they'd had to apply for variances maybe, but, I don't think they've applied for anything apparently, because they haven't gave us anything.
The only one I know is in the process of doing anything with Army Corps and DEC would be, Isaac there, up at, 22 or 24 Bethune.
Now they do understand that we adopted the comprehensive plan, and that comprehensive plan restricts a lot of that stuff that they got.
But we haven't, we did adopt the comprehensive plan, but now the next part is to take the suggestions from the comprehensive plan through your special committee and take it that next step. And I guess Russ.
If worse comes to worse, we could put a moratorium on that comprehensive plan, any development on that comprehensive plan stuff, put a moratorium on that and make them hold off until we have our laws. You can give them you can make them wait 6 months.
Well, I know it with Isaac there, that's a zoning issue with the, floating, the big floater out there that I put a stop work order on. He did comply with the little fingers and stuff, never put them on this past summer with it. And there'd be one excuse after another with the COVID thing, but there's still phones to communicate.
So, because I think that he didn't put fingers on, but I think he went longer.
No, the fingers were on all summer.
No, I know the fingers went on, but I think he went longer because he didn't have the fingers on. It looks like he went out farther.
The only thing that's past the main dock shook is that the big floater.
Yeah.
But that was there, that's how he got cited originally when we had the ZBA hearing here for it. And it was, it was denied.
Well, it was denied, it's still there.
But there's stop work. I told him if he proceeded with the paperwork and put the stop work order on, I mean, he can't use it. I mean, I suppose we could ask him to take it to wherever, out of sight, out of mind.
Because if he's been cited, I think that the ordinance reads that if they're cited and stuff, and they don't comply, they're supposed to be getting fined. I mean, if we aren't gonna do anything about it, if we're just gonna leave the dock there and they're cited and we don't do anything about it, he's never gonna do it.
No, we need to do something about it. This is
We need
gone.
to find out from Rose if there's any response.
Yeah, we gotta.
We'll have to
figure
check
this
with
out.
him and find out if he's heard anything on them.
Their attorney did, he talked about Jim. Their, Isaac's attorney has been in touch with me, I'm gonna say between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that they're waiting from Army Corps and DEC, and that's a 6 to 8 month process sometimes. Say nothing about then it's gotta go to OCS.
But Army Corps and DEC should know that we put a stop work order on them and that they were in violation with us too. And Army Corps and the DEC is not gonna allow them to do it until they meet our standards. Okay.
I mean, if the trustees wanna, go the next step, I can do the next step, as far as remedy the violation and bring them into court, but there's no court.
We gotta do something, because it's been going on for quite some time. Well, let's find out what Jim found out first.
Right.
On the letter, and see if anybody signed anything there. If they didn't, then we're gonna have to bring them to court.
Yeah, maybe that. Bring it up next meeting in court. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get going on those permits there. If you get those, I gotta start going and do some values on it.
I made copies for the county, I should've made a
That's what I
second
told her,
set
I
for you.
said, yeah. About how
Do
many?
you want the whole file, Shooky, of all the permits, and you pull them out one by one that you need them? They're in a file cabinet, or in a box now.
Why don't I stop in tomorrow afternoon? You be here tomorrow?
Yep.
I'll stop in and see what you got, and you can show me where they're at, and I can just go
Okay.
through them, and then I'll pick them out like that. If you don't mind.
No problem at
I'll
all.
just make copies, okay, all right. Okay.
Correspondence. Correspondence is from the Homes and Community Renewal. Village of Alexandria Bay's request for a budget modification, Form 7-1, budget modification form to its program year 2017 award has been approved. The modified budget will now be a part of the Village of Alexandria Bay's grant agreement. Please maintain proper record of this modification in the application, contract, and financial management files. Charlie Family. Minutes. Motion to approve the minutes from December 8th regular meeting and December 22nd.
I'll make a motion.
Second it.
Motion by trustee Millet, second by trustee DeRigo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pay the bills, abstract number 14 and 15.
I'll make a motion, we pay abstract number 14 and 15.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee DeRigo, second by trustee Millet. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Trustee reports.
Start with me?
Yes, sir.
At the, down at the Village Park on Anthony Street, the skate rink is open. And the only other little thing, and it's something we might wanna think about, is we had a lot of complaints last year with boat trailers, unattended boat trailers on the street for days on end, or even boats that were unregistered on, days on end. I think maybe we might wanna pass a resolution and a new law to put a limit on unattended trailers on the street. And what I was thinking is, down at our, walking trail down there, we've got a lot of land down. And I talked to Jarrett about a while back on this, about maybe clearing off a spot down there. Allowing people to put their trailers down there, don't charge them anything or anything, but don't be responsible for it. They put their trailer down there, we'll allow them to put them down there, we don't care if they're down there all summer. But we have an area, and once it's full, and, allow them to put their trailers down there, maybe they'll get them off Washington Street and Bethune Street and some of these other streets that are parked in front of people's houses all the time. I just don't think that that's where cars are, that's where cars are supposed to park and not trailers, and
Right.
people are leaving them there. And, I talked to the town, and the town's going to let trailers park at the rink this year. They did last year, but somehow there was miscommunication there, but they're gonna allow trailers in there also. So, maybe we could do something about getting the trailers off the street,
Yeah.
and I think that's something we might wanna work on.
Late fall, we had gone down and I had brush hogged that back corner back. Only 'cause I knew that it was nice and level, so there is a spot already in place if it ever comes around to it.
They'd have to lock up their own trailer, or peg their wheels, or lock the thing so that people couldn't take them or whatever, but we don't wanna be responsible for the trailer, but they're leaving them on the street, so, I mean, what difference makes if they leave them on the street or leave them down there?
Good.
That's all I've got.
Trustee Stroud.
Yeah, nothing.
Trustee.
Well, I see the, under old business, finger docks, repair, replacement, maybe we can tie this both in the same, we're still waiting for another bid to come in from another contractor, so, I just would like to table that till next month.
If I may though, the concession with any of the contractors that I've spoken with is that the fact of trying to re-weld those barrels, there's a long-standing, history with those docks, that company had made. They use very thin steel on them. Everybody knows about the company that made them. And they said that, well, how old is it? Almost 30 years? I says, yeah. He goes, you've gotten your life out of it.
Absolutely.
And so they're pretty much what they're saying, to try to get them out and re-weld them and have them stay together, it'll never happen.
I don't know if
So-
I don't know if anybody else went down there and looked at the dock. I was down there a couple times and stuff.
Mhm.
That dock is longer than any other dock that's a finger dock going out there. That's why I think you get the little belly in it. Plus, that one has the lamp on it, which is right in the middle. So that even puts more force on it. So I think that has a lot to do with that belly. We may wanna think about, and Jarrett said that we could bring that dock in that's got the flashing light on it, bring it in closer and put the same length docks on it that we have in between each one, which would shorten it up to keep it from doing the belly.
That dock
And
is
the light on it.
28 feet long,
How many?
28 feet.
That one's 28, what's the other ones? The other ones are a lot less than that.
But
We put jet skis on those ones
that
on the
one's
inside
28
and,
feet out
Mhm.
there,
yeah, you know,
28 by 8 is what it is.
I think that has a lot to do with that wear and tear on that one dockway out there. So when they look at that, maybe we might wanna have them price that of putting the same length dock in, because we can just pull that other dock into it.
Right.
To that motion to table,
Yeah.
number 4. Second.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee DeRegis, second by trustee Millet to table number 4, finger dock, repair replacement. All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
Julie, did you hear?
No, I know.
Uh-huh.
He was asking about the.
Oh.
All done?
Yeah, I was, thank you.
Trustee Hurd?
Okay, I spoke with Gregor today, which he did send a summary of the things that we talked about, but real quick, you know, we talked about the study for the water system, and they should be ready to give that to us by March, along with the sewer plant study. So those should be coming in, and, we'll just have to take a look at them and go over them when they show up, so they're on their way. And, again, he talked to me about the READY grant as far as the water plant is concerned. And, you know, they're going forward even though they're still waiting for approval on their 60% to the 90%, and gonna go forward with it anyway. He felt it was just taking some extra time, and that wouldn't be a problem. And that's really about it. We'll just
Yes, with the
going
Ready
forward.
Commission, like trustee Rick said, they're at 60%. Within this week, next week, all the permits are being submitted to the proper authorities, and hopefully we'll get a confirmation and get moving forward. Be a lot closer to 100%, but the bottom line, I asked the missus, so are we looking at construction of 21 or 22? And it's supposed to be this year? Yes.
Yeah, I was in on that conference call. I don't know if you was in on it, but I got on that.
Okay.
What they were waiting for was just some of the stuff that Gregor had to give them before they could apply for the permits. And that's why the permits are gonna get applied for. Yeah,
And it's almost that time of year to start doing water rates again.
absolutely. Yep.
So, we have our end of the year report, so we need that number to go forward, and,
Once we have our studies,
yeah.
we will have some new changes.
It'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
Is that something you're gonna meet with?
Water rates?
Thomas? Is that who you're
What's
gonna-
that?
Is that who you're meeting with? It's Thomas on the water rates? Is that who you're gonna meet?
I'm not sure how we're gonna go forward with it, but I know we need all the numbers.
Yeah.
And obviously the formula has been beat to death, and we have it, so it shouldn't be terribly hard as far as, you know, the water study that they were, the
EDUs?
EDUs and that stuff. I mean, I believe they're still working on that study for us,
Good.
so.
Good.
Police department had 15 complaints, 1 arrest, 9 vehicle and traffic violations, 9 building checks, and 0 parking tickets. Submitted by Officer Josh David.
How many parking tickets do you have?
Almost 2 books worth. I got 3 left of the second one.
So we have to order some more books.
Yep.
we're gonna change that budget. So we're gonna be taking it on them and give it to him.
Oh, yeah. Fine tuning this year.
And they've had 3, 4 that have showed up, wanna argue that Jarrett's picking on them. They were the only one on the street, and there was other street, or vehicles parked in the street. And then they turn around and they wanna pay in coins.
Yeah, I was here.
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's somebody different though.
It's
It's
One
somebody
source,
different this time.
good money.
Nope,
Nope, it's not money, we're not taking.
not that much.
Well, you know,
Did you ask
and
for
Julia's familiar with it, cause I'm sure she remembers this, cause I went out and took pictures. You know, if they keep that stuff up, we'll show them the sign. The signs don't say from November 1st to April 1st, it says from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It doesn't specify, we could do it all summer long if we wanted to, we're being good to them. They want me to go take pictures and mail them to them, I'll do that.
Old business, number 1 is the fuel depot with, Alexandria Central IMA. Yeah, I got that here. Everybody get a copy of that?
I looked at it and didn't get a copy, but I looked at it.
I will make sure you get a copy. I don't, Mr. Burrow said we,
Somebody need one?
A copy?
You need a copy?
I don't have a copy of
You
it.
can have mine, cause I got it on my computer.
Well, it's not-
That changed as of late this afternoon.
That's close enough though, not much.
I thought I sent everybody a copy of the email.
On
I
email,
thought-
not on here, though. I don't have one. Yeah, hard copy. That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Some of the issues that we had a meeting with them, telephone conference the other day. Some of the questions Mr. Burrow proposed was, the condition of the current station. And with the construction, everything is gonna be brand new. The tanks, the pumps, all the lines are gonna be brand new. It's not gonna be in the space between the bus garage and the village. It's gonna stay over closer to the, where the current station is right now. Another question was giving the village rights to examine, the school records as far as, usage, whether the village is using 40% of the fuel or 60% of the fuel, which leads to the other part of, if the village is using 40% and the school is using 60%, then when they budget for maintenance and so forth, then accordingly, we should pay 40% and the school should pay 60%. Key fobs, that'll be factored in with the 50,000 that the village is paying for the
That was
system.
in the cost at the very beginning.
Yes. There is a resolution for the joint fuel station. I believe we can make sure everybody gets a copy of it. We don't have to vote on it tonight unless you feel you need to, or we can wait till next month.
Whereabouts is the school on it? They don't need our vote this month anyway, do they?
No.
No.
Okay.
And give people some time to read them over.
What was that, Chucky?
I don't think we need to vote on it tonight, I don't think they need it. It'll give you guys time to read that over because some of you didn't get the copy. I think we have a table.
Oh, I read it in the agenda,
Yeah,
just didn't have a copy of it.
yeah, I think we have a table it until next month.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to table it until next month.
I'll second it.
If there's a new one out, Molly, can you email that out?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
So
received
motion
that
by
like
trustee Millet,
an
second
hour.
by trustee DeRio to table the fuel depot. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? EFPR report?
Everyone should have the EFPR report, and so everyone is also aware we have our AED. There was a copy in there. I did email it to everyone. If you would like a copy, I will give it to you, but at this point, I did not kill a tree unless
Yeah, 'cause it's
you request it,
50
because I do have a copy in the office for everyone to go through.
It's 50-some pages,
Yeah.
59 pages long.
Yeah.
I started reading it, but I didn't get it all done today.
Also speaking of that, after speaking with the SPR today, in front of us, I just gave this to everyone tonight. It will be our, village timetable. So I will provide notification to department heads, regarding budget timetables by January 31st, and then we will start our process from there, working on budget, set up budget workshops. Due to some complications with COVID, health issues with our accountant, she would like to be able to at first work remotely, set up and do remote access with her. With department heads, she will speak with department heads if we could do it via computer at this time. She's had complications from being sick with COVID. She has not been released by a doctor yet.
I'm fine with her being on the computer.
Yeah, she has no problem talking. We'll set up department heads, and then she will set up, we'll set up our meetings with everyone else. So, start making your lists, everybody.
We should back up a little bit. You were doing, reports, you skipped Jared.
I thought I was gonna get out of it. Along with, the grants and stuff, I met with, Tim, last week, and, he brought the electrical engineer. He had looked at both docks, he had looked at the pavilion, and he had looked at the water plant. Looked at the electrical systems to see what we had to do to upgrade, where we were gonna get power. Wound up, there was no power on one dock. So we've been doing that. We have the gun club again, is leaking. Me and Pat, we tried today, to find the head of the pipe. So at the very end of Highland, we wanna shut it off there. We're done trying to monkey down in there. It's an old black plastic pipe, very thin walled, you know. Fortunately, we caught it quick this time. If nobody was down in there, it could have been running all winter long. So we dug up on top, at the end of the street. We found the main. Now, the history on it was that there was only a 2-inch galvanized pipe that fed that down there, from the last house, next to the last house in the village, to the last house in that street. So we started chasing it down, started following it, and then it had gotten bottlenecked down to 1-inch black plastic. Well, when the whole accident did hit it, no water came out of it. It shut down. We did end up, I dug out into the street a little bit and found the existing 10-inch main that is all the way down there. So I think probably tomorrow we're gonna go in, do a little bit, it's all dirt and stuff down there, and see if we can find where that tap is for the gun club, and just get a new water shut off, put in right there instead of all the way down there. Just trying to, I was supposed to meet with Bach yesterday on the dock. I'm gonna get a hold of him, see if we can get hooked up again with that. Skid steer, we had a couple codes that were on the skid steer. It was a hard start. My guys took it down. Last Thursday, we trailered it ourselves down to Milton Cat. It was back Monday. That was back. They brought it back up. My guys did. It's been really, really busy going. I know I have more, but it was a long day. Started at 5, ended at 4 today here, so.
2 police cars.
2 police cars are still over. We trailered both of them over to Cascanets.
Parks are hard to get,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they're tough.
and Josh had said to me because I had just had to call him again, because they found something else wrong with it. He said, I knew it was coming. He goes, the town of Clayton, or Village of Clayton's car, when we let them borrow our Crown Vic, he goes, that's exactly about how many miles our Ford had on it when we had the problems with it. The same exact thing that's happened to these two. So, I think that's it, guys.
I just got one quick one. When you're working on that water tomorrow, do you have to shut something off to do that?
No.
Okay. Because remember up on that street when we had the water break up there, and Pat had a really hard time shutting that off over on the next street,
Yeah.
over down in the corner
Yeah.
down there. I didn't know if you shut something off, if you could look at that at the same time, make it easy, just in case that problem. We had a hard time getting that on.
I know it, yeah. No, if we do, we're gonna hopefully, now that we found the main, we can get right to the corp, is what it's called, and we can shut it right off, right at the main.
I just didn't want you guys to have a tough time with something like last year.
Well, it's supposed to be nice this week, so we wanna get
Good.
it done, so.
Guys are doing a good job.
Okay, can I go, are you all
Yep.
on?
Yes.
Sorry. Can I go back to this, the budget timetable?
Yep.
Here it says week of March 8th, budget workshop. Those are long and lengthy, and due to my work schedule, if we could set a date for that now, so I can put in for the day off, or at least half a day, so that I'm available, obviously, for a good long day of budget workshopping.
What day did they have it down for?
She says the week of March 8th, we should be having a budget workshop. So as far as, you know,
March 8th is
Mondays don't work for me,
Monday.
but beyond that, and obviously Tuesday is a meeting, so if we wanna, that'd be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It doesn't.
But what time we start this? I know they're a long session.
They're long, I mean, that part I'm not so concerned about, I'm just concerned about getting a request in for a day off.
Yeah. Wednesdays, my problem with Wednesdays is I have to be in another town until 1, but I can be right here right after if Wednesdays is 1:30.
It doesn't, it
1:30,
really
2
doesn't
o'clock,
matter,
yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Chris, does any day work better or worse for you?
Nope.
I like the idea of Wednesdays or Thursdays because
Okay.
Fridays are just,
Yeah, two.
people have a lot going on, especially in March.
Alright, so we're gonna go.
So Wednesday or Thursday, 10th or the 11th?
Why don't you pick one? Why don't you find out what
Let's see,
you can get off at work and let us know Wednesday or Thursday and we'll go from there.
Well,
Wednesday's
this
the
is
10th,
the thing, I'm
right?
just gonna go to work and request
Oh,
a day off.
okay.
I'm not gonna
Okay, I
ask
thought
them
you-
what
you
works
had
for
to ask
them at
ahead of
this
time.
Let's
point.
do it Wednesday the 10th, huh?
Okay.
After he gets done.
Wednesday, 10th at 1, well, then we
Two.
can determine the time.
He
You have
gets
to
out
be
at
there
1.
at 1?
Well,
See that?
I can be here by 1:30.
Alright,
Okay,
alright,
the 10th, Wednesday the 10th, I
Yeah.
would put in for that day off.
at 1:30. If hopefully she can be available. Okay.
And bring your snacks.
You
I
got-
said, bring your snacks, it's a long day.
Brain snack.
Mhm. Sure.
Okay.
What time you say, 1?
It's,
1:30.
yeah,
1:30.
that's,
Okay, we're all set?
Yep.
Number 5 is economic grants.
Okay, can I interject?
No, yes.
Gregor sent an email to me, would like to set up a time. Is it Thursday at 1 or 2, Steve?
This Thursday?
This Thursday?
Got a streetscape on Thursday.
Okay,
What
either,
time is that?
I think it's at 2 o'clock.
okay. We would like to have the meeting set up to, just talk to the companies in reference to what is available, what the village may be eligible for, but just to have some, information, and I believe it was 1 PM Thursday. If the mayor can be there, and anyone else who would like to attend. And they asked for one person from the community. I thought possibly see if Rush Frost could be here, because he sits on our other board, for interjection with it. And a lot of it is for community grants, you know, things like that. But right now, it's just getting a feel if the village is interested in anything, or if we're even qualified for anything at this time.
Is there gonna be a conference call?
Yes, conference call, yep.
That's
So I can
good.
give everyone the information, I got that this afternoon also.
I can get on the conference call until 2, and then I'll have to switch to.
Okay, all right, but if anybody's interested, I can give everyone a copy of it tomorrow, anybody can listen in on it.
That's Thursday at what time?
I think it's 1 o'clock, I honestly believe it's 1 PM.
Boy, that's hard to believe, because I thought Greg would be in on the other ones.
I don't think it'll be that long.
Thursday is a busy day. There's a New York State CDBG application webinar Thursday at 10 AM.
Is that another one you're in on? Okay.
Yes, that's
So
for the
Thursday's pretty close.
CDBG, for funding available
It
for
is.
21.
Yep.
So we got 10, 1, and 2. Got it.
Yes, 10, 1, 2.
10, 1, and 2.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. CDBG grant, a conference call has been scheduled for this Thursday at 2 to discuss funding programs that are offered by the Office of Community Renewal.
What
The
time?
Office of Community Renewal emails a meeting invitation to the village.
That's at
That's
what
at
time?
2 also.
It's a 2 o'clock.
It's
2?
2 o'clock.
Because this says, I don't know, this one says 10 AM.
That must be a different, this is the one where we're gonna speak right with Ben.
Done that
Okay.
backstage.
Yeah, but
So
it's right on the back
Thursday's a
page
wash
of
as far as, okay.
Gregor's update. I mean, I can contact him and see if we can change it.
Well, why don't we do, it'd be a lot easier to have Thomas change the other one. There's a lot less people involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you get a hold of Thomas and see if everybody responded back, because at the time, there was only 2 of us that responded back.
All right. And that's 2 PM, right, Thursday?
Yeah.
It should be, okay. I'll contact him first thing in the morning, unless you're on, Thomas.
If not, will you let me know? And send it over to my other office, I'll be in 3 stuff.
Okay.
Number 6 is the emergency management plan. This is the pandemic plan.
I think Molly talked to, with one of the county, it was,
Tonight,
Tonight,
actually,
yeah.
I just printed it out, just before I came over. NICOM has a basic plan that we can take and look over and, for adopting. So everyone understands that what I found out today is this plan is for future pandemics, has nothing to do with what's happening now.
We're gonna have another one?
If and when there is, if there is and when there is another pandemic emergency situation, the village will have a file we can walk into and say, okay, these are essential workers, okay, this is what we need to do, to get, this started. So that's why that needs to be in place. I would like to really work on that this month, and by our next meeting, we should have this ready to be signed, because it has to go to the unions.
How's all the other towns, villages doing it? Are they doing it, or aren't they?
Everyone's mandated,
maybe
yeah.
Just said, yeah, I know, I was gonna say, maybe everybody could just give a little bit to each one, like did Clayton get wires from Clayton?
We do have a
We have Clayton.
template from
And
Clayton.
get
Yeah.
Lisa's and get the.
Yeah,
the
I
villages
have
maybe-
Clayton's,
maybe
theirs
that's all-
is quite extent,
Yeah, theirs is pretty big, yeah.
but they also have, theirs is for a township, not just a village, so but we can look at all of that. We actually had something sent to us from a couple companies that would look at it for us. I have requested give me a quote, you know what I mean, to see. Dank offered to give us a quote also. it doesn't hurt to look at that, but the one from an ICOM today looks pretty basic. And we have to get our essential people, we have to get, Jarrett has to pick who's essential, full-time essential, part-time. We have to think in the future if it would, is it gonna be lifeguards and dock attendants? And so we need to categorize the people who would be called in first. So we really need to sit down, do a little homework, Jarrett, you and I. And then we'll get with the board and try to get this hashed out. I'd like to do it by our next meeting if we can.
Maybe even Kate Nancy, maybe that one if they could look at too.
Yeah.
And you know, if they ask for ours and we have one, give it.
Sure.
Make sure they get
And
it.
I know that Clayton has shared theirs with a
Yeah.
lot of people have been asking.
Mhm.
And she did share, she told me they're sharing it all over with people, so.
Copy right here too.
Yep, we have a big copy of it all,
Yeah, I
so.
got one. I got
But the one I saw tonight looks quite simplified.
That's the one we want, the simple
It's a simple trip.
You always can change it.
That's right. You can always, update.
Anything else under old business?
No,
No.
sorry, asked all my questions earlier.
No. New business, docking tickets, overnight docking tickets.
I think Molly's looking to make the new tickets, and we've discussed it a long time ago. Last year, we got nasty grams in the mail and everything else. We're gonna be the same price as everybody else. I think we better get the tickets ordered. I think that we
It's a
discussed.
process, you know, and to
Yeah.
have them made, that would be, the overnight fee, fines, tickets that the court will handle, and the actual new docking tickets for the village. So we'll get that set up, and I'd like to start getting them ordered, so we have them for the season, in advance.
I think we were gonna order them last year, and then we didn't open up the docks and stuff, so we didn't bother to open them. But we already know our fees, we've already discussed that, we've already voted on it, so I think it's time to get the tickets.
Okay?
I'll make a
To make
motion
them- I'll second.
to go ahead and get the tickets.
Motion by trustee Eric, seconded by trustee Millet, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? They carry. Number 2 is JP Marina late fees. To whom it may concern, when water bills were sent out for the last quarter, we received several, but we were missing one for 14 Bethune Street. Made a call to the village office, spoke to Molly Greer, explaining I did not get a water bill for 14 Bethune Street. Molly said she would email a copy of the bill to me. I paid the water bills that I did receive, but obviously couldn't pay the one for 14 until I received the bill and the amount owed. When the invoice did come, there was a large late fee charge added. I'm requesting a late fee be removed since I can't pay an invoice that I don't have. Sincerely, Pamela Stewart.
I think they all went out email all at the same time, right?
So, we emailed some, we mailed some. Hers were all mailed in an envelope, the bills that I have. I can't say if one was missed or whatever. I did email her the bill. When she did call and ask, I sent it through her right through the billing program. I did send it to her. Yes, there was a late fee on it. I don't have control of how, you know,
The mail.
yeah, you know, was it stuck in the printer? I can't say. I'm sorry, I do 600 of them. I don't have
There's no way you know.
So my question is, I mean, what's not quite making sense is she received a whole lot of water bills
Why
for
didn't she look
other
for-
properties, and she
Yeah.
realized she didn't have one for 14, whatever the street number is,
Bethune.
sorry, Bethune. Did she call you right then and there and say, I don't have this, or did she wait till it was late? I mean, I'm not gonna get we could get nitpicky,
Yeah.
but,
you know,
I mean, if she called right away and you emailed it, that should be like in that day. And that she would have it and could have paid it.
When you
Yeah.
emailed it, did you email it late?
I emailed it through the system, the program.
Or the regular program?
I didn't send it from my personal email. I go into the water program and email it. I went in and I don't have the time, and I can call the company tomorrow and ask them. I didn't go that far because it doesn't show me
Mhm.
when I send an email through their program. They may have it on their side, and shame on me, I should have looked it up, actually, when I sent it, but, yeah.
Yeah, but when you've got 600, you aren't gonna look that up.
Well, yeah,
No.
I mean, and I just, yeah.
Do we know what the late fees?
$11 and
It says it, she has it written on the
53
bottom.
cents. 11.53.
We have it written, don't we, Steve, there, what, on
It just says that they paid $230.65 on 1/4/2021.
$11.53.
Yeah, I believe it was something like that, yeah.
53 cents.
This paper here does not have the amount for the late fee.
For sure.
For $11.30 some odd cents, I would make a motion that we refund her late fee for all that energy it would take to go back and pinpoint when emails were sent
Time-wise,
and this
yeah.
and that is really not worth $11.
I'll
We're
second her.
talking
I'll second her
hundreds
motion.
and
So it's, how much is it?
$11.53.
$11.53.
You might wanna check that, but that's what you gave me this morning. And
Okay.
Motion made by trustee Ertz, second by trustee Millet to refund the late fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That can happen.
KCBS Thousand Island Club Antique Classic Boat Show, July 10th, 2021. They would like to reserve the upper dock, July 10th, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Wood Boat Show, as they have done in years past. That is provided that water level conditions, COVID conditions, or allow it. And that's from Heidi Suzanne, Secretary Treasurer for the Boat Club.
Have they done it before?
That's what I was gonna ask, is this company here all the time, or is this something new?
So, in the letter, it says that they have done previously.
In the past,
with
We
it.
have-
Isn't it just a wood boat?
This is the Wood Boat Show as we have done in years past.
Past years, yeah. And I looked, and I met with Molly on this, right, I went through, the thing with her. I don't think there's anything that conflicts with the chamber, and it's on the weekend after the 4th of July,
Mhm.
which is usually a slow week. And I think they're just looking for the upper dock, just the upper dock.
Mhm.
Yes, just the upper dock.
And
They didn't ask for the
They
streets.
also, that was the luncheon I went to last
I think
year,
so.
that they gave us a sizable donation.
Yes, I think so. I think it went well.
It always does.
Yeah.
People love those boats.
Well, if it doesn't interfere with anything, we always got into the problem with, fishing, little, small fry fishing derby, which I know it's not going to.
No, that's June usually.
Or anything to do with the chamber, I think that as long as it doesn't conflict with anything else, I have no problem. I'll make a motion, we allow them to do it.
I'll second.
Moved by trustee Millet, second by trustee Ertz to allow the Classic Boat Show on July 10th, 2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4 is change order number 1 for TJ Fiaco Construction, $21,194.50. I did speak to Gregor about this. He said it was due for Fiaco, the work has been performed, and it
Does not come out of the other thing for the ramp.
Or,
Correct.
This,
It was
and there's
included in
another
the original budget.
$16,000 that's due after they finish the
Which we
spring
are
work.
holding.
So this money was in there for them.
right.
Yes.
So now they're looking for this money because it's been done, so I think that we should pay them this and still hold the 16 back that we've got until they finish the rest.
That's,
So,
So I'm gonna assume they did not finish when summer ended, like, went out and reseeded and.
I think they still got hay and
all that
stuff out there and stuff that they've gotta clean up. I think that's.
out in the middle,
Yeah,
there's
they-
piles
they
and
gotta
stuff.
clean up
They have to
Oh,
clean
they
up.
still have to
Just pick up stuff, yeah. Yeah, and that's that 16,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do owe them this money in the projects, this part of this project.
And it
They
doesn't
did,
affect the
so
127
27.
left over,
Yeah.
no.
So I'll make a
That's from
motion.
the minutes from the last
Okay,
meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Noel, second by trustee Dorito to pay the change order number 1 for TJ Fiacco Construction. All in favor?
Aye.
Paul Means water bill. To whom may be concerned, I'm writing about a water bill for $1,199.56 for a house at 83 Walton Street, which my brother Ernie Mance just contacted me. We live in Boone, North Carolina, for all but a couple of months or less during the summer. During the summer, my wife Joy was alone in the house. When I joined her for 2 weeks, which after we left near North Carolina, I arrived when Joy was there alone. She bought the only hose she could find, the soaker hose, to water the 2 flower gardens. She had difficulty buying the hoses.
He's asking for a refund on their sewer portion of. the bill.
He goes on about watering the flowers. And
That's a lot of soaker hose water running
Yeah.
out, one just that.
Well, they weren't there, and I mean, I do know that.
It flooded it, yeah.
But we, I'd actually caught, Ernie there, and I went downstairs and the reading was right on with the last time we did read, which was, I don't know how long in between, but it was the same exact number, so.
Well, we've set precedent, so we don't do refunds on that.
No,
Well-
they're asking for their sewer part of the bill,
Yes.
not their water part.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna pay for all the water that
Okay.
they soak the ground with for
Oh,
2
okay.
to 3 weeks.
It was for a couple of months.
Oh, that she left those soak
They
ground.
went back and left them on.
So they're gonna pay the water part, but they don't want to pay the sewer part, which I don't have a problem with that.
So how much is the water?
What was?
Because it never went through the sewer.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
how many people are we gonna do this to? I mean,
We do it, we do it with all the sewers,
If it wasn't a leak,
huh?
this wasn't a
this was
actual leak.
watering the flowers.
Oh,
This wasn't an actual leak, they just
Yeah,
left
they
the
just
hose
forgot
on
to,
to
they forgot
run.
to turn the hose off.
They ran the soakers, it just ran and ran. I mean,
Getting old stinks.
your flowers, my flowers, we do a lot of watering.
that's why I got went downhill, and that's why my lawnmower got stuck in my backyard, because that water's all coming out of my house. That's just self-created.
Jerry, your thoughts?
I feel the same way, I mean,
Self-created.
Well, let's say someone filled up their pool and then it's like, oh, I left my hose on for.
and that's the thing, I don't know if we've ever given forgiveness on somebody filling a pool.
Right, or leaving
Right.
a hose on.
Right.
That's pretty much what this is.
Correct.
Yeah, they use it for the gardens, it
And
went into
if
the
there was no
ground.
broken pipes and they forgot to turn the water off, I feel that we don't need to, I'm gonna make a motion that we don't give them a refund.
So your job, Chris.
What?
Would you like to second that?
Sure, I'll second it.
Motion by trustee
Yeah, I
DeRito,
take
seconded
the
by
blunt.
trustee
I
Strauss.
take the blunt of it now.
Oh, there you go. That was unfortunate.
Not forgive the sewer
For that,
part.
That's why there was so much water.
Mansfield.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? HRA amendment.
That's our health savings reimbursement, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Health reimbursement account.
What did you have to amend?
They amended it. They are, for a period of time during COVID, allowing for unprescribed products to be purchased
Oh, yes, yeah, I did.
Plan is being amended to provide coverage for over-the-counter drugs, medications, regardless of whether or not such items have been prescribed, as well as any menstrual care products as defined in the code. Notwithstanding any provision of the plan to contrary, the plan will reimburse the above expense of the participant and/or eligible dependent if they occurred on or after January 1st, 2020, and while the participant is covered under the plan.
Let me ask you, so that's us, we have to adjust the card and put more money on it? Is that what that's about?
Well, what they're saying, what I believe they're saying is, it's only for a period of time during, almost like a COVID thing. And
Well, like
no,
COVID thing, a year?
we don't have to adjust anything.
They're allowing.
They're
They're just gonna
allowing
allow-
the over-the-counter products during that time.
Make a memo to these guys, when they buy that stuff, keep the receipt.
Yes,
We do.
we know.
We do.
Because if they don't have the receipts
We
for
do.
cough medicine
Exactly.
or whatever, and they don't send that in,
Well,
They're
they're
gonna
going
deny.
back to 2020, who's gonna,
Have a receipt.
who
for
kept the
Band-Aids.
receipt for Band-Aids or?
nobody, but
Well,
we'll
yeah.
just go from here
They put it on their
forward.
credit card.
you know,
Correct, yeah.
From here forward, but
And is this their new policy going forward?
This is a, yes.
for
policy
now,
going
first,
forward.
it's gonna be a term.
Mhm.
Did they give us a term date?
Yeah, it's already over, correct, Steve?
Oh, so in other words, anybody brings that in, well, then we're all right, let them do it.
Again,
Yeah.
if someone pays the
Water over
receipt
the
for
dam.
cough medicine.
Right.
A little late, they're gonna,
What it's saying is that we have to put this in our policy,
Okay.
so we have a thing of it, what we're really asking is for the board to approve the amendment and let Steve sign it and put it in our file.
okay, I think we ought to approve it, and if they've got the things, they can turn them in, as simple as that, but I don't think anybody will.
They're having a hard enough time.
I'll make a
getting
motion
it.
to it.
Prepping,
Mhm.
sorry.
Motion by trustee Miller, second by trustee DeVito, to allow me to sign HRA amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else under business? So we all got the schedule for the budget preparation done. Did you wanna discuss anything with the comp plan to set up a workshop to start putting everything together on that?
I think that if, everybody ought to start getting with their departments and start working on their budgets. 'Cause
Yeah, but he was asking about the comprehensive plan.
all the comprehensive.
Remember we all talked
Yes.
about,
Oh, yeah.
you know, who we could ask? I've
Oh.
asked someone who was on the ZBA board. Remember we had
You
talked
did ask
about?
them, did you?
I did ask somebody and they said they would do it.
Who'd you get?
Trevor Bogart said
Okay.
he would come be part of the group.
Okay, Russ said that he would be the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a good,
Larry Cullen said that he would be on it.
okay.
Jim
Is that-
Cummings said he would be on it.
Are those those are both just community
Correct.
members? What did we decide how many people, I mean, we did do all this, how many people?
So you got
should be on
Russ?
it? Like one
Five.
ZBA, one,
Five,
Planning,
count,
if there's
five
four.
counting, five of the board members, and, or what do you call it, and one from the planning, one from the zoning, right? No, what we did.
Oh, okay, well, Trevor's already on
zoning,
zoning,
So they gotta get planning,
and then Russ is on
planning.
planning.
and then, oh no, it's five total.
Yeah,
and
Larry
then
Cullen, Jim Cummings, so we need one more person to sit on it.
And Mary Lou.
Oh, Williams,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
asking Mary Lou.
Mary
So you
Lou.
got
He was
Russ,
gonna ask
Trevor,
her.
I already
Jim,
talked to her.
You did?
Mary
She'll
Lou.
let me know tomorrow, she's at
And what
EA now.
village, what trustee is sitting on it?
Who's the fifth?
Mary Lou Williams, Jim Cummings, Russ Stroh, Larry Cullen,
Larry Cohen.
and
Trevor.
Trevor Bogart, and did you say somebody from planning?
A village, doesn't a village board member need to sit on it?
And they just need the liaison part and not the
Mhm.
voter, right?
Correct.
There you go.
And who wants to do it?
I'm up here with water and sewer.
Just
You guys go
water.
somewhere else.
Just water.
I'm
I'll
here
meet
with-
with him.
Coming and it's going.
I'll meet with him.
Why don't we don't we do this? You do it part-time, I do it part-time. We can do
Okay,
that, can't we?
And then, so we set up a time to.
Well, I told Russ that he was going to be the head of that, so he'd have to just start setting up some stuff.
Okay.
Well, I told him it would have to be after this first meeting here.
Okay, I will forward Trevor's number to you.
I got Trevor.
Okay,
Yes, I got
pass
it.
it on to,
Yeah.
and I did ask him way back when we discussed this, so I will reach out to him, remind him he agreed to do it,
Yeah.
and get ready,
Okay.
which is good, he's unemployed right now, so.
Yeah, I'll give him a call, tell him, we got a committee
Mhm.
together, and, I'll get Russ's number and give him Russ's number.
okay.
Okay, good.
Anything else? Public concerns? Anybody out there in the public concerns? 315-482-9902.
Well, we'll wait for that. Did you get the thing for the streetscape tomorrow?
Maybe,
Huh?
I might have.
Our Thursday meeting? I got an extra one here, let me find it. We're gonna do it, find that.
Do you have an extra one?
We can work another one out, yep.
Okay, I think
No,
it
I
was.
just wanna see.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
mean, I
be,
could just look at it.
it's gonna be a
after
Zoom, it's gonna be a Zoom,
I don't need to.
yeah. What we're gonna discuss and it's on there is, in the streetscape, we've got some monies left over. And we're pricing, curtains, sliding curtains to go around the pavilion
Pavilion.
there. So when bad weather comes, we can close it off, so like when we have
Oh, that'd be
a craft
nice.
show and stuff like that,
Yeah.
we gotta see where the monies are at on that.
Nice. No public concerns. Mr. Burrow's not here, we're not going into executive.
I don't think he
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Irk,
Motion by
Seconded by
trustee
Millet.
Dorito,
Yep.
or, Millet,
at 6:49.
I'll second.
Okay.
He missed you.
6:49.
Oh, shoot, you're that nice.
Yeah, he-
Um,